Greetings and salutations. It is 8:03 p.m. Eastern, 5:03 p.m. Pacific, and welcome to Canucks with Guitars. I'm your host, Ben. Please like and subscribe right down there. We're waiting on Tom. He said he was going to be in. I saw there was a whole bunch of you already waiting. I was like, I can't wait any longer. People and such, and technology, and yes. So I'm going to do roll call, and hopefully Tom will pop in. Hopefully I'm not too blurry. Let's see. We've got Terry saying he's not on the show. Do you see him there? No. Nope. 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 Absolute Mayhem. L&M Guitar Corner. William De Silva. Music Therapy Laz. Terry Himes. Dan of New Jersey. JP Page 2. Zach Thong, Craig Tomlinson, Troy Alcorn, Chains. Hang on. Performance enhancing beverage. James Paiva, Charles 75, and Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Hey, Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Thomas Santiago. Take it away, Tom.
Thomas Santiago. Best first name ever.
Exactly. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
We had a whole bunch of people waiting. I'm like, you know what? We're going live. I'll just start the roll call. I knew you were coming in hot and strong as only you can. Let's see. Who have I left out from the beginning? Absolute Mayhem. I don't know if I shouted him out. I'm going way back. All right. This is at 8 o'clock. See, they're already in there. Tailgating and pre-gaming and performance and cold snacks. That's the key, is the cold snacks. All right. Back down to the bottom. Same crazies. And no, except for Mr. You can kind of see it's cut off at the bottom there. I got to resize that a bit. Mr. LPD Pedals.
Yep. I see it. Yeah.
He had to bail on us last night, Tom, because of working on new designs.
I saw that.
Because we're not broken off, Tom.
Need a little bit of time for my bank account to recover.
Yeah, well, he what was it? Quentin calls it the Joe check. I think he's waiting on the Joe check.
The Joe check, yeah.
Dang,
hey, William De Silva.
Thomas Santiago. You know what? I need the animations like China Mike.
I know. That'd be great.
Yeah. There's Lars.
Yeah, I wish William De Silva said a mansion I live in. I wish. Yeah, it starts right after the edge of my bed.
Yeah. You just knocked out that wall to really open her up.
Yeah. All that wooded area behind me.
Yeah, anybody would be coming into the house and like, why is your bedroom like in the middle of this open concept? You're like, yeah, but it looks great on YouTube. Like,
I saw a house like that once. It was one story like mine, a little tiny rancher above ground. But the people were smart. They were like worth $100 million. They dug 5 stories underground and built this complex underground. And upstairs, it looks like nothing. And so if they ever get robbed, there's nothing upstairs. It's like furniture. That's it.
Let alone like optics for land taxes or house appraisals or anything.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the other thing.
Okay, so apparently you can get approximately 5 LPDs with your Joe check.
Wow, nice.
Uh-oh. Charles is all out of the cold snacks.
Oh, that's not good.
I got one here for you, Charles. But yeah, it's kind of right. You got to drive here to get the cold snack and with the drive. Well, you just, we'll wrap her up to go and you can just take her home and have it. We'll just wait. Awesome. So a good day today, my friend.
What was the agenda today? Or were you asking?
Hello as well. Sure. Great name. You might, if you want to shout out, you might want to work on that. Just saying.
Mr. Jones, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones and me.
There you go. What's up, Deja?
Let's see today. What's the opposite of New Guitar Day? Negative NGD?
Old Guitar Day? No, I don't know. Lost Guitar
Day? Well, I got
rid
of a guitar today.
Sold Guitar Day?
CMA Productions? That's stands for Crazy and Aware.
Nice.
I'm sure it's got to be right. Crazy and Aware Productions.
100%.
Deja Blue. Asking if you're going to make it with that guitar in your battery.
I only do that on my OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's a whole different live stream right there. Yeah.
You have to message us privately for the time and the passcode for that one.
I got rid of
Ben wears the Gretsch hat, but the other rest of the outfit's different. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. So yeah, last week when I was off to pick up the old Gretsch there, when I was over at Richie's,
nice.
Our friend Rory called, who we've done some various projects with. Bless you there.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, do you know where you can get a good cheap acoustic? I'm like, well, what do you want? A good one or a cheap one? Right.
Right.
He's like, well, I'm looking something pretty good for, 200 or less. I'm like, again, I'm not sure that's possible. So,
yeah, that's a little.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and, Rich is going off talking to him for about a minute and a half. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there. I'm like, hey, Rich, what was those imports called? Jasmines? He goes, yeah, Jasmine. They were like the import version of the Takamine. I'm like, yeah, them. He goes, yeah, you know where there's one? I'm like, yeah. He goes, where? I'm like, I got one. He's like, really?
Perfect.
You just, after 2 minutes, you thought of this? I'm like, I don't play it. I forgot. It literally would sit right here off camera from me. It's right behind my computer. I'm sitting there collecting dust. Always meant to fix it up. Never got around to sell it, whatever. And then so Rory's like, yeah, he came over on Friday to check it out. And he's like, is this the one you offered to me like a year and a half ago? I'm like, probably. I don't know. Had it. No. Sure.
Yeah,
Hey, Dale Palmer. So he goes, what's it need? I said, well, it needs a bridge because the bridge had folded over forward somehow slightly, or so it appeared.
Right.
So I promised a new bridge. I told him I put in a tusked bridge. Yeah, it turns out, no, there was wedges under it, which was making it all catawampus. So I could have fixed it really easy without a bridge replacement. So I did a lot of work for no reason. Yeah. But, bridge costs, I don't know, $10, we'll say, and a whole lot, which there's a video coming out on that this week. And yeah, I know the guitar's out of tune at the end. I didn't bother tuning it for the last couple cowboy chords. And I filed down the bridge a bit more after that. But yeah, that was fun. So got that. And he's like, I brought the action down to about 5/64ths, which is, still respectable for an acoustic. He's couldn't go a little lower, eh? I'm like, you can tell he's more an electric player than an acoustic player. I'm like, well, I could, but it'll really make those high frets noticeable up on the fretboard.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, you just paid this much money for the guitar. Do you want to spend that much more money again to make it right? No.
Yeah.
I polished up the frets. I didn't replace the strings. It's got old strings, but polished frets.
Yeah.
He's like, these strings they're not bad. I'm like, yeah, because I've been handling, because I've had the strings off of it, 10 times in the last week. So, hey, Scott Brockway. I sold a Jasmine acoustic. Jasmine by Takami. No. Jasmine by Tak. Yeah, that's right. So, turns out I had a neck reset at one point. I noticed a bunch of glue marks. I'm like, didn't notice that when he bought it, and chip out of it. And it was like, she was in kind of rough shape, but hey, what do you expect? A couple $100. And the funny part was somebody had oversprayed some paint on it. Okay. And, and it's got your normal, let's call it your walnutty type brown color around the side, right? Satin finish. Yep. And somebody had oversprayed or splashed a bit of white paint. Okay. Just very fine, not like a big splash per se, but, little droplets here and there, whatever we'll call it. Right. So I thought, to be a guy, because I thought he probably didn't see it, and I'd feel bad if he's like, oh, what the, So I sat there half an hour with the razor blade.
Oh, no, you didn't. Wow.
And I'm just like, just peeled it down, took a bit of the satin off, but then buffed it back out. So it's actually a little bit shinier than the rest of it, but it's on the bottom side, so you'd never notice. Yeah. It was like somebody was painting and decided to play something, and they had paint on their pants, or, who knows, right?
They get that tiny little spack.
And then sure enough, Rory says to me, he laughs, he goes, funny you said, the guy's a painter, he wouldn't have cared, he probably would have thought that was cool.
Oh, man.
I'm like, really?
That's too much.
Really? He goes, where was the paint? And I showed him, he goes, whoa, the nicest part of the finish? I'm like, yeah, which shows I could buff this out to a semi-gloss if you want.
That's funny.
Yeah. Hey, Janice, good to see you. Mickey Settlemeyer.
So Lawrence was asking if I was a member of the LPD Facebook users group, which I didn't realize was separate from his, so I wasn't, but now I am.
I think I am. I
I
assume
have
I
to
am.
check. I'm guessing, does that mean there was something on there I missed? Something cool?
Well, he's really been plugging that 68 stacked.
On the user LPD pedal users page or on his regular?
I don't know, both. Knowing him.
On Facebook?
Sure.
Okay.
He gave the thumbs up, so hey, there's the original Paramutant. Awesome.
Let me check it out. Let's see.
37 people watching. Man,
I will go to both. Let's see.
That was the stack of circuit boards I saw him promoting yesterday. Propagating?
Gotcha.
What's it when you spread propaganda? Propagating? Although, is it propaganda if it's all real and true? And I don't know. He's shouting from the mountaintops. Yeah, it's good. L&M Guitar Corner, have you put up a video yet for the 68 stacked? Because I'm pretty sure you were the first to get one, unless Unbelievable somehow managed to. Says it was on an Instagram story as well. See? Yeah, there we go.
All right, I'm going to check there. I'm missing it.
Propagandizing? No, not yet. Fine, Martin. I know it's a late night in Austria. Don't know what you did the rest of the day, but sure. What would you U.S. viewers buy with your $1,400 stimulus check? Deja Blue asks.
Another month mortgage.
What would that come out to? That'd be about,
part of it.
let's say 1,800 Canadian.
What's up, Emery?
Well, what's up, Emery? Good to see you, my friend. I don't know, but let's just say for around that price point, you're going to see a lot of really cool stuff coming out later this year from a certain big name company.
Cool.
And then I also heard a tease that's huge, and you shush your mouth, Mayhem. I got to tease this right. It's a company that used. All right, let's call it from the skeptical kind of view, if to describe the company. They used to make good stuff, and now they make import versions of their good stuff.
Okay, I get you. Yep.
But that company is going to bring out an acoustic at approximately $2,000 US. And I went, really? That's bold. What if I told you it was also made in the US?
Oh, okay. There's the difference.
But I can't say because of things, but read, if you will, upon that. So if you want to talk off air, tell me, boy, we can. So that's all.
Nice.
Not a Kramer Farrington at this time.
See, now I'm confused because I looked at the latest post I could find on Instagram from LPD Pedals, and it shows an 87 and a 74, and then it shows an SSL, solid state logic.
Well, he said it was on his stories, but your stories only last 24 hours, so it could have been yesterday.
Then I missed it. Yeah, I'm not so good on the Instagrams, Facebooks.
I look at what I look at when I have time to look at it. That's the way I
used to look at Facebook like every day, and it became an addiction. I just uninstalled it,
Original Paramutant thinks they'd buy an orange amp with their check. Sure.
Cool.
Nothing wrong with that. It's in the users group, Tom.
Oh, cool. I'll go over there and take a look.
Terry Himes, that's a smart idea. See, Scott, you're just lying in the chat. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's talking about, but all I see is it's the last pedal I need to complete my board. Unless you add the tag for now on the end of that, yeah. I don't believe you.
Oh, Ben, now I see him. It's a whole stack of 68 stacked boards. I like that.
Yes, a stack of stacks. There's Preston Smith.
That's nice. Even the like the I don't know if it's screen print or how they do it. I guess it wouldn't be screen printed, but however the lettering is done on the actual circuit board with his logo, that's awesome. Nice. I see a couple people
wants an Phone Explorer, but Sweetwater sold out. I don't think I want one after Chinese New Year. Hard to say.
There you go. I'm noticing, Ben, some of the people in the
Hey Johnny, welcome back.
LPD users groups have a couple of my pedals. Like for some reason, someone has my Javelina that they haven't sold to me yet, and I see a couple other pedals that people haven't sold to me yet.
How funny was that?
Someone's two Ravens, and you know.
Well, how funny is when Rich says to me, he goes, "Have you seen that Javelina on Reverb?" I'm like, or on Kijiji. I'm like, no. Oh, I was like, who local is selling? And he's like, I clicked on the ad because I figured it was you, and I was like, but it's not you. And I'm like, no. Wow. And he's like, because his first thought, like, who the fuck in this area has LPD stuff other than me?
Right? Yeah.
He goes, well, don't buy it then. I said, I won't. Don't
buy and sell it to me.
You know, like
I want for it.
I guess a fair price because Rich is going to pick it up. But it turns out it's like Shane, my old drummer, one of his current projects. He's playing with a bass player that owns it. Huh. So, Lawrence, you recall selling a Javelina to a bass player by the name of Len? And I'm surprised Lawrence hasn't done some tweets like that. You know, hey, just FYI, I sold something to a guy in your area. Just so you know, you're not the only one that's a tone snob in your neck of the woods. Krenar.
Or it could just be that
we got the whole Austria thing happening tonight.
Yeah, that's true. He could just be, I'm selling so many pedals all over so many people I can't even remember.
Oh, exactly.
It's a good problem to have.
Yep.
I'm glad he's, gotten the traction,
It's when Lawrence says, can you recommend a good brand of forklift? We know he's moving a lot of pedals.
That's funny. That's so good. Yeah. No, he's a great dude. Super smart. As the English would say, super smart bloke.
What's up, PC Rich 581? Just in time to talk Nikki 6. I kid. We were not talking about Nikki 6 at all, but all I remember is Nikki 6 coming up in conversation, I think, on Pete Thorne's show, and PC Rich is just like, God damn
it. That's funny.
I say, hey, somebody's got to play those open strings.
That's right. You got to put that right hand up and go, yeah, or put the left hand up rather. Go, yeah.
Or my old bass player Larry, just love it. Nothing. He goes, nothing better than an outdoor gig in the key of A because I can smoke and play.
That's hilarious.
And not have the smoke hanging out of his mouth, right? He can actually.
Yeah, nice.
Of course, that's why I love that guy.
Yes, Lawrence, I am. I was going to message you and see if you, had any more or had the parts, because I definitely want one if you.
Awesome. What's up, Doc says, thanks, Ben. I found the ground issue. Now I just have to buy a soldering iron, or as my dad would say, soldering iron.
There's one other pedal that is a quote drive pedal that I will still use, but other than that, my LPDs have pretty much replaced most of my other drive pedals, at least current production ones. I have an Analog Man Sun face, which is just like an old fuzz face, but
sure, my dad said it correctly according to Scott.
But other than that, and if I had the LPD equivalent,
I was going to say the only thing I've been plugging in lately just to fool around once in a while. I'll grab down a Boss pedal, Lawrence doesn't do Boss, but that's okay. Like, that's why you grab a Boss pedal, is for that Boss.
It's got that sound. Yeah.
Which are hit and miss. It's funny. They're hit and miss pushing one of Lawrence's pedals. Yeah. They either sound really good or is like, nope, that doesn't work. And I don't fault Lawrence's pedal for that.
Well, it's like you have this filet mignon with like mint and like a little bit of this and all real spices. And it's like, do you put ketchup on it or don't you?
Keith H. He can throw a mean pick. Exactly. And Keith H. had sent me a
Nice.
Nikki Six pick, which is around here somewhere. I was looking for it the other day. It's in a box. I also lost a mini amp thing, so it's probably together. Preston Smith says all my pedals are less than $50 except my wah. Yep, which he paid $3,000 for. Put mayonnaise on what? On the Chapman? No. Scott's pedals range from 25 to 300.
There you go. I'm trying to bet though, if they made a Klon wah and it started out at $2,000, they'd still sell out. You know, it's like it's the best wah. It's like what Hendrix used it. You know.
I think my most expensive pedal is that Velco.
Oh,
I think those retail for like $500-600 or something like that.
Yeah, they're up there. It's cool looking though, even if you don't know what it does.
It's conversation. Like people come in here and they're like, "What is that?" Because they just think it's an old piece of studio gear, and I'm like, "Well, it is, but it isn't."
Yeah, I love the retro design with giant knobs.
More to come on
and
stuff coming out in the next few months, Tom. Some
nice
new stuff. So I got to touch base with them. Did I say hey to Unfucking-Believable? I meant to. Johnny says I have a ton of pedals, but a simple delay and chorus with a smidge of overdrive tickles my R.
There you go.
Or tickles your AR. No, your R. R. Yeah. I like a little phase at times. Well, I got phase pre and post gain because, depends what I want. What else we got? Tremolo's coming off the board. I don't use it. It's taking up space. Ear. That even makes more sense, Johnny. It's going to come. I'm not getting rid of it because, it's sweet, but we'll just put that aside until.
Ear's better. I thought he meant tickles my arse.
That, yeah. Well, it could have been a typo either way. Okay, so Martin's got. Wow, Martin is up there with us.
Look at that.
Damn.
Wow.
All right, so we don't have the rival, right? Because we have the White Rabbit.
No, I have the rival.
Oh, you have the rival? Okay, yeah. I have the White Rabbit. I have a Swirl. Do you have a Swirl?
I do not.
Okay. Combustible lemon.
I have combustible lemons. I don't have a Gila. I look every day. If I find a Swirl, a Gila, any of those, they're going to be gone as soon as I see it. Or bought as soon as I see it. But
that's a nice thing.
What was the one right after the 68 stacked?
The Sakot, Sakot. I don't know. Do you just pronounce that, Lawrence, as one word? You're not sure when they're all caps. Like, I don't know. Do you Sakot? I don't know. Do you yell it? It's in caps. That one? I'm not sure on that. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, look who finally showed up.
Nice.
Just wanders on in. Our Habs. Good to see you. Our Habs. Just got an LPD 74.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Into a Hot Rod Deluxe. No kidding, eh?
Oh, there you go. Lawrence said Seiko.
Seiko. But it's all caps. Seiko.
Seiko. Now, what does that stand for? SAKOT.
I don't know. Isn't that a watch company?
Guitarman 45. SEIKO, but yeah. Seiko.
Yeah, that was my first tuner. Those things cost like $200 in the 80s.
The OG ones, yeah.
Yeah, just
Swiss Army Knife to Tone. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Swiss Army Knife to Tone. See, I knew that. Forgot. But knew it. Forgot. He's told me multiple times. Forgets. I won't remember now.
Well, I'd forget. Give me an hour.
This is why I don't have one to demo, Tom. He's like, that would just be a disaster. We're not doing that. Oh, we got a nice crowd here. 57 people watching. Nice. Questions, comments, concerns. What else we got going on? Salut, mon ami, BV.
What's up, BV?
He says, did someone say Swiss?
Mm.
Oui. Lawrence. Oh, and Mayhem. I found it. There you go, Tommy boy.
Nice.
That is labeled as lemon kush sugar.
There you go.
So that's lemon kush. That's a big old chunky.
That's a chunk of sugar, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to go that deep tonight.
I love the 2021 names they have for what is essentially different forms of hash.
You know, 5 bowls in half an hour last night.
I saw that. That was
Quentin kept saying, he's like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just being polite. We got 5 people on panel, you know.
So I found a video that was previously on, I won't tell you how I found it, but it was previously on Lawrence's channel called LPD Seiko Boosting and Edge of Breakup Dirty channel Sure something. I think it says Sure Plexi. I can't read the rest. But the video is unavailable now. It's not there anymore.
Uh-oh. It's a private or an unlisted. No, it's a private.
Might be. Have you ever used that website, Knox Influencer?
No.
It'll give you
gigawatt.
It will give you specs on like people's videos and stuff. But
ooh, Oregon Diesel.
Lawrence had 100% likes on the video, so it must have been good.
Oh, Super Gigawatt. That just sounds like a recording session. This recording session was powered by Oregon Diesel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Johnny's got the random test. That's a kick right in the keister. What's that? Debris? Sure.
So you changed your water, I'm guessing, from last night, because 5 bowls in last night, man, that thing was like brownish black. You know, after a couple, it's gonna get that way anyway. But you went deep with that. It was like the color of your hat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it did. It actually was much clearer in person, but yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the reflection, it looked like it was, yeah. Cheers.
Hey, Rody's Jam Cave. Preston Smith. Gotta check out. Check you later.
What's up, Roadies? I got some 3 chems, and I went for the expensive stuff this time, aka the stuff you probably get for cheaper and free is probably even better, but best I can get here, because this stuff is quasi outdoor grown. So, you know, as you know, that our outdoor grown is always the best, but this is like indoor, but with open lighting on the top. So, and they grow with natural sunlight instead of LEDs.
All right, what was I touching that I wrote? Oh, it's a lemon. I was like, I got writing on my hand. It was from the bag.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what does that say? I'm like,
you know what,
I don't remember writing on my hand backwards.
You know what makes the best grip? If you're, you know, if you have tendon and nerve damage in your hand like me, or if you just drop picks, a little bit of resin from like the inside of the bowl. It's just sticky enough. You can still whip it if you want, but it will not come out of your hand, you know?
Scott Brockway says, now that they're vapes, I guess no one hot knives anymore. Or dabs. Janice said, that's a good one. Janice, like, I came back from my TV show last night and all hell it broke loose.
Yes, yep. Janice, you're correct.
Yep.
It was good, though.
Yeah.
I kept seeing people being added. I'm like, one more person. Okay, this just got better. This just got even better. Okay, this just got even better.
All right. See you, Lawrence. You do your deal. We know. Designs, building, shipping, marketing, packaging, accounting.
Javelinas for me.
Javelinas for Tom. Phaser for Ben. Just saying. Anyway. Yeah. Cheers. Rock on. Be good. Let's do the channel sponsors. Lawrence Petros. I'm going to do it unaided with LPD Pedals. Lawrence Petros. We've got Rob Welch over at Tesi Switch. We've got Travis Taylor over at Reno Fin Custom Guitars. We've got Emery at 10 Solo Music. We've got Ike. I was talking with Ike today. It's day 9 of him having COVID.
How's he doing?
He feels like he's been kicked in the balls for 9 days. He's so fatigued. He can't even play guitar. He's hoping to be better by the end of the week.
Yeah.
But he's alive. Wow. And he still has some form of sense of humor. Ike, well wishes. All
definitely.
Right, so flip side.
James Pava or Pava. A little dab will do you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yep. Adam Reaver at FU Tone.
So
Sean
before it
Lewis
goes off the
at
before it
Ardens
goes off the
Music, Tim
oh,
Bradley at Vibraprint, and I think that's everybody. That's 8. That's got to be everybody. Christ, I can't
so
have like that's a lot.
BV said a friend of his is in the process of making a great old, in quotes, wah, new old wah. First one is for his buddy, Doyle Bramhall. Second one is for him. Nice. I'm jealous.
Of
I would
course
love
it is.
a great old wah.
To quote my best friend in the world, Richie Shanahan, BV, of course you are, BV. Of course you are.
And if they're making one for Doyle and for him, like I know it's got to be great.
Hello and welcome, Stephen Franklin.
Hopefully that'll make production some point. Probably not, but one can hope.
Yeah, Tyler, Music Goes Win. Tyler ended up in hospital. That's right.
That's right. I remember that. Although having it must do something to your head, because then he got out and bought like a super crazy expensive original Klon. Do you think Ike will? Well, Ike already has an original Univibe, which I would rather have an original Univibe than original Klon myself.
Right.
But maybe now it will happen to Ike as well, and he'll just go buy a Klon. Yes, BC Rich. The Vi clip. Did you see that, Ben? Where he played a whole song with one hand. Better than I could ever play anything with two hands. He's like shredding all over here with one hand, and he can't use his hand he had surgery on, or his arm. So he's not even muting with this. He's shredding while muting with like the edge of his fingers as he's playing. I was like, not fair.
That's just, that's not fair. Okay, so yes, it'll be in production, but will not be cheap.
I'll have to start saving my ducats.
Save those pesos, folks.
That's right.
Save those pesos. When Lawrence is going to do a walk? Is that when we know Lawrence is just like, screw it?
Yeah. When you get to the wah stage, it took a long time for Friedman to put out that wah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would personally, like, if my choice was something really high-end, hand-built, I think I'd take that over one of the modern, like, Chase Bliss kind of like, what are the slidey?
Right.
What's that called? The slidey slider, like
they're all good. There's a few there's a few slideys now, and they're all good.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have the OG, kind of like, the Sabadius vibe. I take the Sabadius over like a new pedal.
Baby, I know exactly what you mean by Italian style wah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Friedman has a great wah, actually. Hey, Sean Zimmerman.
Oh yeah. Well, BB, I'm hoping it's got to be cheaper than those old Italian style wahs I see on, Reverb and eBay and stuff for $2, $3, $4, $5 grand.
Right.
2 being the lowest I've ever seen. Oh, the funky vibe, yeah.
Johnny's like, I wad once, but threw my back out. Oh, you gotta just ease back on the gig, Tom. When you go to use your wah, and when you go to stand, you're like, whoa. It was just that much off pedal. Whoa.
That's good.
I remember doing the same thing because I'd use my volume pedal for doing volume swells, for those pedal steel licks. Yeah. And I go to get ready, I'm like, whoa. Like, all right, we're switching to water now for the next while. Nothing but water.
Well, you're up there in the clouds, though. I have low center of gravity as my advantage. Us short guys are like, all right, I'm all right.
Yeah.
You get that extra 4 inches on me. It's like, whoa. Oh, BB says yes, it will be a deal cheaper than his original one. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely love to see that. Nothing like something that sounds like an original one, but you get the modern reliability and somewhat cheaper than the old one. You know what I mean? Probably.
I never sell gear. Well, you try not to, Scott, but sometimes you want to move stuff along, especially if somebody wants something like. Oh, I was tempted the other. Buddy's over here and he was playing my Music Man. He goes, "I don't suppose you want to part with this, do you?" I'm like, "Well, not really. No." but
Yeah.
I could use the money, you know. So I was like, yeah, but I couldn't. It'd be easier to replace than say the Wolfgang. You know, there's a lot more access hardtails out there than the Wolfgang.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he played the Wolfgang too. He's like, oh, yes, I'm starting to dig smaller frets. I'm like, why are you working so hard?
Mm-hmm. Hang on to Jeffrey's RMC4. It's good. Plus, I have one RMC. Yeah, those old.
I always wanted to try the Dimebag wah, because you figure that's a wah that's designed for a very mid-scoop tone.
I'm building my own wah.
Wahs need mids, so I don't know how that works. So
actually, I can grab it real quick. You want to see the circuit board for the new wah I'm building?
Sure.
You want to see it? All right, I'll grab it. You good?
Dave's Gold Wah, yeah.
I sure do love you. Did you know that? Yeah.
Interesting, Krenar. C-cell batteries. Really? Interesting. Yeah, this is me just reacting to the chat without, actually acknowledging which comments I'm reacting to. Mm-hmm. Yep. Really? Jeff K. I don't know if I said hey to Jeff K. Hey to Jeff K. That rhymes. 48 people watching. Get it. We had about 20 people bail. Sure. 10. 20 was left. I don't know. Just making conversation while you were gone.
So this part's pretty there's nothing exciting to see. It's just as it would be.
Oh, yeah.
I just put them in though yesterday. I didn't. Obviously, I got to solder everything.
Oh yeah, clear, eh? Oh yeah, clear board, eh?
Yeah, right. You can't see it. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Doesn't want to focus. Anyway, it's a Soul Halo inductor from Sabadius.
Nice.
Or Sabadius, depending.
Sabadius?
That's probably right.
Yeah, and Scott Brockway's like, which inductor? That's the it's from Sabadius. It's an he's sourcing his inductor from Argentina, folks, because that's that's the flavor of tone sniffing Tom's into.
Yeah, it wasn't a kit. I mean, I bought different parts and put it together. Now, I bought, as far as a kit, I bought a standard board for that size that came with the
Super Gigawatt thought the same thing. Clear board,
carbon comp resistors, but then I got the tropical fish caps.
Do we know a Sabadius dealer? Isn't Emery over at 10 Solo? Isn't he a Sabadius dealer?
He might be. I don't know. Every time I see their stuff come up, the bigger stuff, it goes quick.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know. I'd like to try some of their other stuff. I haven't tried any of their other pedals. They make like a TS style, and they make a fuzz.
I need another tube screamer like I need a hole in the head.
Mm-hmm. But that unibody, I'm
not even a tube screamer fan, but I've had, 10 of them in various variants. Although I like that one that Paul sent me, because it's like an OG. Because I remember I had an early tube screamer. Mm-hmm. I want to say third iteration, like that 82 to 85 range, where it was like the whole pedal's kind of a wedge shape, but the button was like half of the front on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember even when you dimed the drive, it wouldn't even send my Fender amp into overdrive. Like it wouldn't, like there was no gain. Not like your modern tube screamer. Like you plug that thing into any amp and you're going to sound distorted, right?
Yeah,
and that's why I'm like
lower gain.
Yeah, I was like, modern tube screamers have like 5 times the gain of my original one.
Mm-hmm.
So I get this one in, and I put it in, and it's like, you could throw the level up, you could throw the gain up, still not breaking up, but there's that tone there.
Yeah.
All you hear is a tone shift. And I'm like, that's the tube screamer I remember.
Sounds like an original.
Because I was like, is this? It was like the first time I used a compressor, I couldn't hear an audible difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, BB. I was looking at one of those the other day. That does look awesome. Those seem to sell out right away too. That 68 vibe, King Tone 68 vibe.
Nice.
Mukbang, yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be called. Yeah. Well, the tube screamer. The idea was, it was supposed to just increase the line level that little bit more to push tubes into an overdriving, making them scream, if you will. I don't know. I didn't turn that thing up the stage volume to begin with. Like, put it to edge of breakup, or I don't know what the fuck. Helen was asking me, where can I rob you? I'm like, well, you got to go. Oh, well, you're actually pretty close. You're closer than any of us.
That's
one's
true.
in Switzerland, one's in Austria. Awesome, Krenar. Is there anybody that get Krenar over 500 tonight? I meant to shout him out last night. I don't remember. Were you here last night, Krenar? Not surprised if you don't catch me live because, again, Austria, late.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, check out both those two, L&M Guitar Corner and Krenar. They're both out of Austria, but they're honorary Canucks. Like, they've been around. Martin's been around for quite a while. Krenar, put it this way, Krenar started showing up in my chat within a week of me discovering him elsewhere in the community type thing. Like, I don't know when he arrived on the scene or whatever, but the first time I was aware of him in the chat, say, hey, there's that Krenar dude. Within a week, he was like in my chat, and I'm like, hey, there's that dude. I'm like, who are you? And he's like, I'm this Albanian dude living in Austria. I'm like, that's interesting. Sure. He's like, what do you think of these type of guitars? I'm like, they're pretty cool. And he's like, I think they're cool too. I'm like, I like the cut of your jib, sir. And he just phrases like that to people that are Albanian living in Austria listening to a Canadian show. Yeah. Sorry. You always forget how much slang there is in English. You know you're muted, eh? All right. He's talking.
There we go. So I used to go into the city and with my girlfriend, and there was this little private restaurant, if you will, we'd go to just to get coffee or whatever in the morning. And it was always these old Albanian guys sitting out front, just like playing dominoes. And we went inside, and the one day I go in with her, and the guy goes, he comes out and he goes, this old man in a suit, and he goes, who's he? And she's like, oh, it's my boyfriend. And he goes, if you're not with her, never come in here again. Never. And he just walks away. That's where all the soldiers got their assignments for the day, was that little coffee shop. But since I was there with her, it was cool.
Hey, we've got, wow, just they again, carpooling. Must be Tom. We got Damage 262.
Tony.
Awesome. Good to see you back. We got Jay Steen. He was riding shotgun and then just stretched out in the back seat all to himself. Is Fruitcake Tony. You know, he's just styling and profiling. What's up, Fruitcake Tony? In the house.
Hello, Tony.
I'm glad we're cracking Krenar up.
He said he can imagine the scene. Oh, and I forgot part of it. So we leave, and I asked her, my girlfriend's name was Maria, and I said, Maria, how is that place never shut down? So she takes me back maybe like a week or two later. Well, she explained to me that day, but I'll tell it in reverse, because she takes me back a week or two later to show me what she had explained right afterwards. They had a cop that moved from Albania to Philadelphia when he was like 17, grew up in Philly, knew everyone in the Albanian community, and then became a Philly police officer. So they don't have to worry about the police.
Right.
And he was sitting in there the second time we went in. He was like, hey, what's going on? You know?
Sure. Yep. Exactly.
Gotta take care of people.
You see a lot of those little places. I lived in Windsor, Ontario for a while, which is right across the river from Detroit. So traditionally, a large Italian community, right? So yeah, and like you're walking through the downtown core, and especially the secondary streets, right? And it's like literally right in through the neighborhoods, which you just don't see anymore. It's like you're walking through a residential neighborhood, which is only a street or two off, a main street. But it's like houses that still have like a storefront kind of built into them. And you're walking, and it's like a grocery store in someone's living room.
Yeah, all over Philadelphia. It's we call them bodegas. It's bodegas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
the corner
I loved
store.
it.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so you get in the habit of that lifestyle of picking up something just for dinner.
Yep, exactly. And
if
you have one of those ones on the corner, those go for big bucks. A cross street location.
Yeah, it's great. But the first time you walk in, they literally look at you like, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm new because I moved inadvertently into the Lebanese neighborhood.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm from this area that's 99.999% just white bread, mayonnaise farmers.
Yeah.
Type thing, right?
That's
so I go there and never had falafel before, tried it, loved it. I was like, okay. My roommate comes home from work. He's like, what the hell are you eating? I'm like, falafel. He's like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know, here. He's like, damn. I was like, yeah, I know, eh? I'm like, I thought because growing up, I'd gone into the city and stuff. But again, you have largely British-based food.
Right. Yeah. I love falafel, though.
With my mom. Yeah. So all of a sudden, it's like boom, boom. And then 2 blocks over was the edge of more Italian neighborhoods. And every place had a mom and pop pizza place in every neighborhood. And they all had their own sauce, own cheese, own pepperoni.
Nice.
Yeah. And they all had a Friday night special, large pepperoni pizza walkout for $5.
Wow.
This is like mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
But that was normally it was $8 or $9 for the same pizza. But Friday nights, they're $5. I'm like,
we had I think it was 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Local, right in the college town where I was living for a while. And it was $4 large pizzas.
Super Chihuahua wants a falafel on a waffle.
There you go.
Great,
now I have the munchies.
Can I get falafel on a waffle? Is that possible?
I saw one. It was a.
You will have a man wearing a wife blesser with very hairy shoulders. Make you then a falafel on a waffle.
I like that you call it a wife blesser. That's a nice way to put it. I've never heard that term.
I have to give props. That is Ned Flanders.
That's a good one, a wife blesser.
Yeah, because it was something he had to do something that was going to be. He goes, well, I'll just strip down to the old wife blesser here. I'm like, yes.
That's good. Deja Voodoo, any choice of LPD Ben Coombs, Ben Tom? Stoner film about pedals, but seriously, the JHS musical is pretty cool in the form of a real treat. I didn't catch that. That would be cool though. We could do a stoner.
So that would have to be. We're doing a show like this.
Something.
Somebody pops into the chat and is like, "Are you aware of this pedal?" We're like, "No."
It's like they have one
here. Yeah. Initially, the pedal is in your area. So I come down, meet up with you. We go to there, but it's not there, which leads us to another place, which leads, and it could be a series of YouTubers / pedal builders.
Yep.
And then we end up at Lawrence's
all over the US. Yeah.
Yeah. It ends up with us banging on Lawrence's door.
We're just all disheveled. We're like,
and he's like, you're like, are you aware of this pedal? We're all disheveled and debris, vehicle falling apart.
7 a.m. on a Sunday. What are you doing here?
And he's like, oh, this one that I just finished soldering up. There you go. And we're
like all shiny.
And then we fade to black with Fiend.
And then the closeout song will be featuring that pedal.
Yes, sister had to work today. Hope work wasn't too bad. Middle of the month. Yeah, that could be, the 15th of the month. That could be a weird, busy day at the bank.
Yeah.
You know, stuff that arrives on the 1st and the 15th and such. Johnny says, my family owned a hardware store that is now a Vietnamese supermarket. Nothing stays the same. Right, but like I was thinking about there's like certain areas of Toronto, and I know it's happened with New York, and it's literally like one neighborhood becomes an anchor for like, let's say 4 different nationalities over the course of 120 years.
Yep.
You know, it's like initially, let's say New York, could be like Irish and then Jewish and then Italian and then Puerto Rican, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. And it's just depending on what age you are, it's like, yeah, I remember this and this and this was here. And like Johnny would have his family had the hardware store to another generation. They remember the Vietnamese supermarket. Who knows what it's going to be 20 years, 30 years from now. Yeah.
And especially like me, if you love Latino women, all of Philly is the Puerto Rican section. The best part. But no, there's still like the Italian neighborhood, the little Irish neighborhood.
I'm wondering too. Like before I'm going to slightly reserve judgment because this could be a bad thing. Like if that was family owned, forced out by a conglomerate, that sucks. You know, where they get whatever. Seen that, but if it's a mom and pop Vietnamese supermarket, cool. Corporate, uncool, uncool. Unless Johnny's family got paid. It's like they come in, they're like, we are offering you 5 times what this is worth. Like, okay.
Well, his family owned it for a lot of years now. It depends. Maybe, I don't know. He didn't say whether or not they were tenants or own the actual building, but if they own that building.
Absolutely. So I said something.
I'm sure they cashed in if they own that. That happened near where I grew up because there was.
Canara can finally go to sleep. He hit 500 subs.
Nice. Yeah, Deja Vu. I'm like 30 minutes west of Philly. My girlfriend lived right 10th and Dickinson, and my brother lived like off of like a side street off of 12th Street. But I live about 30 or 35 minutes west.
So it looks like Les has had a busy day. He had squatters or something.
Oh, wow.
Bodegas.
There you go.
Bodegas.
Say it with me.
Yep. Cheers,
there's always little corner bars too. Like it reminds me of England. Every corner street.
I love that because you get to know your neighbors.
Oh,
and then it's cool unless the guy's a dick. And then you do, but that's the dick lives over there. Stay away from there. But we're all cool. And just that sense of community, and next thing you know, people are shoveling each other's driveways.
It's weird. Like
it's not too bad.
Where I would go is maybe like 3 or 4 bars.
Hey, Cushman.
In Philly and in South Philly, and if you're a dick, they don't put up with it. Like they've just people talk about. You think a New Yorker's rude if you're not in the right place. Man, in Philly, they just don't give a shit. They'll be like, get the hell out. But I just bought a beer. I don't care. Get the hell out. Like,
yeah, if anyone wants to know that side of Philly, I just think of the Bill Burr rant.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. I was born right over the river, right over the bridge in Camden, New Jersey. And my dad was telling me stories in the 70s of a guy coming up to him going, I'll watch your car for the day for $5. He's like, I don't need you to watch my car. It's parked on the street. And he goes, yeah, you need me to watch your car. Otherwise you're going to come out on some cinder blocks and missing tires.
Yeah. Hey, Adam Finkel. He's creeping in the background. There's Milt T. Everyone just tuning in kind of late. Oh, we'll give you a little bonus coverage tonight. We'll go a little bit more than 5 minutes. Jeez Louise. We got people stopping in, tuning in, saying, hey, what's up? Questions?
I agree, man.
Again, if you're new and watching, please like and subscribe before I forget again. Actually, while people are tuning, I'm just going to quickly, let's knock out the patrons great way to help out the channel is becoming a patron at Patreon. Go to Patreon to become a patron. You can do that there. I want to thank Randy Crooks, Bent Tom, JP Page 2, Fruitcake Tony, Grumpy Mike Guitar, John ZD351, Craig Tomlinson, should have taken a breath, Blackjack Guitar Nut, Todd Flowers, Ivan Carter, Jose Benito Martinez Jr., long name for a long list, unbelievable. We've got Knucklehead Zero, Brad Miller, Charles 75N, Absolute Mayhem, Joe C, Mickey Settlemeyer, Keith H, and Charles Green. Whew, head rush. Whew, that's 2 deep breaths. Thank you, one and all of those. And then also you can be a channel member. That's cool. You get your name stands out there in the old chatmosphere. Chatosphere. It stands out. You're green with envy. I don't know. You get a toque next to you after a while. I know that.
Yes.
Let's see. We got
Surfing Volcano. You know it, Adam.
Show us close-ups of your I don't have the bandwidth to really show them off. I don't know. I've got on this arm, that's a skull, flaming musical note. We've got kind of a cow skull thing with a Canadian look to her. And we got the pinup girl with Jimmy Page's Les Paul there. And then we got the old flying eyeball and some other car stuff up there. And we got names and things, and that needs to be covered up. I forget that's there. That's why it's not covered up yet.
You just need a match, and when it says faith, you need one that says hope. Be like, yeah, they were my 2 ladies. Or you could say, nope, I've got faith and hope. That's all I got left.
Let's say,
I don't know why I voiced into that accent, but
I do, word association, especially with naming guitars. That one, I thought I had it, but I forget. So we'll come back to it. But I don't know if you saw a few weeks ago, I posted a picture of my 2 black Les Pauls I had for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first one, I saw it and I went black Betty. Became Betty. So, black guitar, black Betty. So sure. Betty was my Les Paul standard. Then I got the custom. I'm like, what goes best with Betty? Veronica. So it was Betty and Veronica were the 2 guitars.
Nice.
And I gigged for a couple of years with Betty and Veronica. So nothing wrong with an Epiphone Les Paul. That's what I'll say.
Deja Blue says turn it into a Bon Jovi tattoo.
Or not.
Keep the on top.
Hit it to Faithless for cheap. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I just want to get it covered with a Grim Reaper. Or a Bon Jovi tattoo. Tinkerbell. Vin's RJ. I name my guitars after the peeps I buy them from. Ooh.
There you go. That's an interesting one.
Well, especially if you got it where you're buying them off friends. So that's rather spiteful. Oh, so, you want to play Richie, do you? Do you? Really? You're like, really,
Richie,
dude?
Richie, meet Richie.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that one. I've never thought of that.
Lived in the South for 32 years. Didn't get that Northeast attitude until Philly when I came home.
That's why I don't give a shit. People are,
Super Gigawatts in favor of the Grim Reaper. Thank you.
But Ben, what people have to understand is it doesn't mean you don't care or you're a heartless person. If you have that attitude, it just means you don't have time for bullshit. That's all it means. Yeah.
No, that's a valid question, Jason Blue. He's like, did you lose faith, atheist, agnostic? No, it's my ex's middle name.
I lost faith, but that's another story.
Yeah. I got it because it would blend in that way, so it wasn't as obvious that was one of her names. But
So if you're ever down your luck, you can go into a church and get a hot meal and stay for the night and be like, look.
Dude, it's come in handy. I still remember it was our first year hanging out in Charlotte.
You can tell them you're a pastor.
well, we were hanging out over by what you've heard us talk about, the gypsies, all the the cheap souvenirs, right? So we're over there, sure. And I got a little overheated, right? Because I was having a whole cold snack or two walking around in the heat.
You were doing some liquid curls, right?
Yeah. So I got myself a smoothie.
Sure.
Because I thought, because it has some real fruit in it. I don't really kickstart, but cool me down.
Sugar level up.
Yeah. So there's some billboards kind of set up and the gypsies are on one side. I'm just around the corner, which is kind of on the corner of the intersection, but there's a bit of shade. So I found some shade, and I'm just sitting there on the ground, with my arm up on my knees like this.
Perfect angle, yeah.
What I don't notice is about 10 feet over on the corner of the intersections, one of those dudes with the placard, Jesus saves.
Nice.
Not a crazy guy, an actual Baptist minister.
Okay, so he wasn't one of the Israelites that you see in New York City.
No, this is dude, like he's, and he's there just, drumming up business, I guess. NASCAR weekend, you're in the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. I get it.
Sure.
Right? So he sees me there, and I'm just, whoo, I'm feeling great. Not. And he's like, how you doing, brother? And I'm like, not too shabby. Yourself? He's like, you doing all right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's some nice artwork you got there. I'm like, yeah. He goes, would you like me to bless it? I'm like, fuck, couldn't hurt, Tom.
That's great. He's blessing your tattoo.
So just as he lays his hand down and he starts to, but who comes walking right around the fucking billboard? Doug.
No.
And he does the old.
That's great.
Pivots for 180.
Yeah.
Right back. Like he had to just bail.
Like it physically repelled him like a magnet. Like a reverse.
Because he didn't want to burst out laughing and offend this gentleman, right?
Sure,
and he's just like, what the? And I just thought, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye, so I'm trying not to laugh while this gentleman's doing his deal, right? And I'm just like, And so Doug, the Doug, Amanda knows the Doug. He's like, what? And so I get up and I walk over. Doug's like, what? I said, well, and I said the same thing I just said here. I'm like, when in Rome, why not? Couldn't hurt,
Yeah.
So, but Doug just, and I just remember the episode of The Simpsons when Bart's working at the brothel or whatever it was, and he's the doorman and Grandpa comes walking in and it doesn't miss a beat. That was Doug. And the whole thing, that's all running through my head at the same time. And
my God.
Hold it together, bro.
Great scene.
Hold it together. Deja Blue asks, where the hell's Doug been? Doug was in the chat last night and he was on last Sunday. He was the guest last Sunday. So yeah, eventually I figured, to finalize the relationship, Grim Reaper, dead and buried.
Or if you go out with a metal band, you just add LESS after it. It says faithless.
She had a nice guitar.
There you go.
She didn't know how to play it, but I borrowed the guitar. Doug's wife is real. Damn straight. He said, I got to pop in more. Okay, but aren't you like in Australia or something, Deja Blue? So I would understand if you have a hard time tuning in. Michael Easter, good to see you.
Terry said, yes, Doug was. One in Rome, get your tattoos blessed, Deja Blue. I agree. And Deja Blue asked where Doug's been. He hasn't seen him. Yeah,
that's the update.
Oh, he's in Youngstown. He's in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Who am I thinking of? Obviously somebody else. Oh,
I thought Deja Blue was not close, but not super far from me.
He drives in Olympia. He won't let me forget that now. I'll forget eventually. But speaking of which, those who watch Canucks, we've moved it to Tuesdays now from Wednesdays because I got a new gig on Wednesdays, and so does Tom. What's that? Well, we'll start. Tom is now a moderator for Nez Says Wednesdays. They're now on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I've joined the cast of characters on the
Nez. And got a whole new gig.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then we had to move the Canucks to Tuesday. So I'm live on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays now. Why not? It's not like there's anything going on in the world right now, really. So,
nice.
Have at her. And so.
Oh, Deja Blue asked what that cackling was. That's my son in the background. So I have a son, a 16-year-old son that has autism. So he's Just making noises in the background. That's what you heard.
All good.
You could be in a Christian metal band. Exactly.
NE, I guess for Americans, NEZ, SEZ.
Yeah.
No, that's Canadian. Z's in US, right? Z's Canadian. Damn it. How did I mix that up?
Well, yeah,
Quentin is
English,
somewhere just like waking up from a dead sleep going, what the hell is going on?
Like last night when he said he woke up at what, 9 p.m.? That's great. I wish I could do that.
Right? Sinners repent.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd like to say all my exes live in Texas, but one day I'd like to visit Texas. So no, stay the fuck out of Texas.
I think, yeah, I'd have to get one. It would say sinner on one arm and then it would say swing on the other. So like they'd see it and be like, oh, like you're a born again Christian. No, I'm a Van Halen fan.
Thanks, Terry.
Why did Nez change from Thursday? I do not know. Do you know about it?
Yeah, because Ty is starting to gig again. Yay. He actually gets to gig again. So Thursday has become a travel day for him. So he's been doing, Tom, I gigged a bit here and there. I don't know about yourself, Never really asked that. Did you ever do any gigging per se?
I didn't do a lot, no. I did most of my playing in school. I mean, after high school, I did. I played in high school, but I didn't do a lot after.
Okay. Ty has a travel day, Tom.
I heard you say travel day. I'm like, wow. I must be playing a lot of
I have a travel time for loading.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a travel day.
Travel day, yeah, that's next level.
The only time I recall having a travel day was when you would play out of town and you had a real good time after the gig. So it ended up the next day became a travel day. Who did I just see jump in here? Arthur Gonzalez.
Just found out the Grammys.
We'll go a few more minutes here, folks, until the beer's gone. How about that?
Any guitar apps or phone tablet?
That's who it was. Deja Voodoo that I was mixed up with. Deja Blue is that? Wait a minute. Now I'm damn confused. Yeah, Deja Blue I thought was Deja Voodoo. Sorry.
There we go, Deja Voodoo. I'm the Deju from Down Under. I'm the Deju from Down Under.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I still love. Have you ever seen on YouTube? I don't remember the exact name, but it's basically Aussie Man Says, like we have Florida Man.
So it is a Deja Blue is the pronunciation. Awesome. There's Sandra. Hello, Sandra.
What's up, Sandra?
So yeah. What else going on? What's happening? Let me think. Tease that. I mentioned Ardens is now an EVH dealer.
Oh, cool.
They can't get any product in, but they're an EVH dealer, technically.
Scott Brockway said they lied to Wolfie and only gave him a 15-second spot instead of the medley performance by his peers they promised. Wow.
Yeah, well. Did Van Halen ever win a Grammy? Like, they seem to be the most pop-ish of the awards. Like, like I remember the Grammys, the American Music Awards. The American Music Awards seem to be cooler.
Yeah.
From what I recall. And something else. Janice gets called Janet on occasion.
Yeah, actually, they won one of them. 1992 for
we did the sponsors about an hour ago, Terry. We did the patrons, channel members. They're in the green there. Yeah, good question. Has Van Halen? Because I would think
it says they got it for best hard rock performance for the Foreign Lawful Carnal Knowledge album, and then they were nominated in 85 for Jump, but did not win. And then
See,
96 for the Seventh Seal from Balance, but they didn't win that
there's
either.
the stupidness. Like, so they probably have like, do they have, I don't even know what they have. Like if you got like best rock performance and then say best rock album.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing?
You'd think so.
You know, or best rock that should be like, oh, you're great in the studio, you sucked ass live, so you're not getting the performance award. But yeah, their album was all right, but holy shit, like Kiss, better live than in the studio. You know, back in the day, you see that, like, you know, in the 1976 Grammy for best performance, rock for Kiss. You're like, well, their album sucked, yeah, but did you hear the live album? Holy fuck, you know, or see them live or whatever, you know.
Well, I mean, like when I Googled this Van Halen, because I wasn't sure about the Grammy, the first thing that comes up is best performance at the Grammys like this year. And the only person I actually know on this list of people they have here is Beyonce, you know, because she's so famous, but it's not even her. It's her helping someone do a track. The rest of these people, Pop Smoke, DaBaby, Jack Harlow, Little Baby. I've never fucking heard of them. And what's up with
don't care.
What's
first
up
of all,
like little diaper,
names?
Little underwear?
Yeah, like are those like, are they bands?
Little
are they
socks.
Orchestras? Are they single artists? I don't know. I can't tell. So yeah. I think I tuned into the Grammys by age 12, 13, I think. Because I remember my mom was always big into awards shows. And so I watched them all. And I definitely watched all the music ones because in the early to mid 80s, it was great because you were into everything. You know, pop was good, rock was good. You know, I didn't pay attention to country, but I knew who it was. Like, oh, Eddie Rabbit won, you know, or he comes out and plays Another Rainy Night. You know, okay, cool. It was a big hit. I get it.
And it was the only time you could really see him because there wasn't any internet. So
yeah, Kenny Rogers plays, you know, does his latest hit because, you know, these were the big artists. I'm like, all right, sure. You know, it was still entertaining.
I usually watched, you know, if I knew certain people were going to be on, like when I heard, you know, Van Halen's going to be on or such and such a person, then I would definitely watch it. But
oh yeah, like I think the last one was whatever one where Jethro Tull beat out Metallica for the initial.
Yeah,
that was the last one, and I don't think I'd watched them all at that point, but I remember happened to be watching that one, and that was a what? Because first of all, I can't remember whatever age I was for that year, but you know, like finger on the pulse of music. Like there was no internet, but I was buying Circus, I was buying Hip Parader, I was watching Much Music. You know, like you knew as much as any teenager would about what's happening in music, right? You're paying attention, you're listening to the radio first still. And yet I was like, Jethro Tull released an album this year.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
You know, not only did they win, I'm like, what? Because
and it's not a knock against them. It's just like I didn't realize, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Jethro Tull's up for an award, let alone they won.
Yeah. Like it, you know, in the flippant remark from what was it, James that said, were they ever heavy metal? Were they?
Yeah.
You know, like Aqualung, I guess, was kind of heavy at time. Locomotive Breath, I guess. Kinda.
How heavy can a flute get? Oh, it's 89.
Like, you know, it's like, is Styx heavy metal? Like you just created this new category of heavy metal to differentiate from rock. You know, okay, Jethro Tull, best rock, then fine. You know,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Metallica of all people, like they've got metal in the name, you know.
Right, and that was for Injustice for All, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think it was the Black Album. I think it was for Injustice for All.
It was Injustice for All. It was 89. So yeah, I said 91 before. I was wrong. That wasn't the Black Album. I'm sorry. It was Injustice. Yes, you're correct. February 22nd, 89. There you go. Yeah, that was like.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and here's a quick one.
That was like the OJ trial. When you saw the outcome, you're like, "What? Are you kidding me?"
So, yeah, like we got 46 people watching. What was the hit single off said Jethro Tull album that rocketed the album to the point where they won Heavy Metal Album of the Year?
And also, I'll ask anyone here that's in the chat right now. Name one like song and artist that won last night at the Grammys. The song and the artist, without looking up, without Googling it. Now, maybe like your sister knows. Does she watch that stuff or no?
Do you know what's funny? I only know that the fact, like, and I only know of them because being Canadian, like, all I know is The Weeknd wasn't even nominated for anything.
Okay. Now, is that a person or a band?
I was like, that's someone I've heard of type thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know one of his songs if I heard it, but I know the name at least. I'm like, I don't know. Did Drake win? I don't fucking know.
You figure Drake's got to win something, right?
Well, yeah, but he's old now, right? Probably. The Grammys are so teenagey.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Grammys are like, you age out of those real quick.
Okay. Deja Blue says, I only know because I subbed to Rick Beato. There you go.
What's that young woman that Rick Beato always talks about, her and her brother?
My sister would know some of the artists because Sam listens to that stuff.
That's why I was thinking, yeah.
Drake boycotted it. Well, there you go.
Oh, really?
Well, it's like, and there you go. Drake. Apparently, he's I don't want to use the term musician. Let's say vocalist, I guess, but is a vocalist when you use auto-tune? I don't know. Whatever he does, right? Apparently, he's a musical artist of some sort. Couldn't tell you a song. All I know is he's a Toronto Raptors fan and cheerleader because he works for the team. And I know he lives in the richest part of Scarborough.
Oh,
so I know that much. That's beyond that.
Does he go
about him? My sister apparently owns a Drake album, but she's younger and she's hipper than me. I listen to the old stuff. Give me a Ronnie Wood record. That's all I need. Drake.
Oh, we knew she was hipper than you, Ben, right?
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, she probably also listens to that stuff because you can dance to that stuff, Tom, and she can dance. I can't or shouldn't.
That's the only time I would listen to that stuff is if I was, with females somewhere in college and they wanted to dance. Then I'm like, I don't care what music you put on. You want to dance with me? And like, yeah.
Generally, somebody got married and there's an open bar. That's when I'm dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, you can sing it too, right? Yeah. I'm like, where's the guitar?
Hey, Ben, anywhere I can go where women are wearing dresses and they see other people getting married, so it makes them like feel all emotional. Yeah, I'm always up for a wedding.
So this will be a good one. We can wrap up the show on a little story involving my niece, since she's probably in bed since Amanda's here. She's my sister can attest this. My niece is very adamant about which radio station to listen to.
Oh, cool.
Right? Very insistent. So I got the music. Just if I don't have anything playing on the radio, she doesn't usually ask. And I am a music snob. I will admit it. I don't want to hear that new crap. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. So I got Hair Nation playing quietly.
You're trying to slide fire.
The first time, it's okay. She said, "Oh, can you play that song?" I'm like, "I probably could." It was a Crocus song, a ballad. I'm like, I might be able to knock that out. So a little later, she said, "Hey, can you play that song was playing in the room?" I'm like, "No." So the next time I pick her up, she said, "Is this Hits 95.5 FM?" I said, "Sure." It was Hair Nation playing. So we drive back, go take them home. We're driving. Is this Hits 95.5 FM, Uncle Ben? Sure. Why do you always say sure instead of yes?
That's great.
She finally I'm like, what? I'm like, it's the same music. It's not the same. And she just threw a tantrum because there isn't the same news and commercials and local content. All the catchphrases they use in their advertising. She's hooked, full line sinker. So
she's fully bought in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, all right. So and they play hits of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. So if I'm lucky, I'm hearing Bon Jovi's Dead or Alive, and I don't like Bon Jovi, but it's got a guitar.
Yeah. It's like every morning I go to like the least worst of the local radio stations when I get in my car. And about 20 seconds into my drive, I'm like, yep, I got to hook that phone up.
You know, I had the Soundosphere karma happen because I've been on this Tesla kick lately. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had a bunch of running around to do the other day. I had to get some X-rays done and banking and picking up people and including. So I think I was in the van, let's say a good couple hours.
Wow.
In and out of the van, but 2 hours of drive time. I got to hear Tesla 5 times during my travels. 5 times.
Wow.
And it was 4 different songs. There was only one repeat of one song, but 4 different songs. And I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
And they've been playing some deep cuts lately. Like, you can tell they're just getting to the point. What is it? Like, I swear every time now I drive anywhere, they play Def Leppard's Love and Affection. I'm like, the one track of Hysteria that hasn't been overplayed.
Yeah, because they play every song.
Every other song's been played to death off that album. I'm like, oh yeah, because I have not heard the song since 1988 when I would sit and listen to the entire album front to back.
Yeah. Arthur Gonzalez said he just posted himself playing some Tesla on Instagram this morning. Cool. I'll check it out.
Nice.
And BC Retch says the same thing. Satellite is the same as you, I guess. Satellite is the only thing he listens to anymore.
Yeah. Well, I figure as long as we got the subscription, Ma used to have the subscription for it, and as long as it keeps going, just won't renew it. So, and then one day I'll be like, oh, I don't have the Hair Nation. Oh, all right. Then we'll just plug the old mobile jukebox into the van, and then we got Hair Nation again, basically. So we're good. So there we go. Well, we've done some extra bonus time. We had a bunch of people tune in tonight. Anything to add, my good man?
I forgot. Not a close friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, but a close friend of my close network of friends passed away this past weekend. So,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, had a massive heart attack, widowmaker, while playing ice hockey.
Or as we called on this channel,
Saturday morning. So I won't give his full name, but his first name is Vince. But just shout out to him and his family. He had 3 young kids. So enjoy your time, what you got. I mean, he's essentially my age, and
and just remember, Tom, on this
he
channel,
was healthy. So.
Doing what he loves, and just drop the ice. It's just hockey. It's not ice hockey. It's hockey.
There you go. Yep. Well, we have field hockey, which is it's a whole other.
Nobody talks about field hockey, though.
I know.
It's
they just move over to lacrosse.
It's like there's water skiing and skiing. It's not snow skiing. That's just skiing. Yeah. When you adapt it to water. Nice. I love that stuff in the chat,
My
folks.
son's getting into the snowboarding, though. He got, like, for next year, if you get it early, you can get
snowboarding is snowboarding. That's not just boarding, because that's different, because then you're living on the hill.
Yeah. But thanks.
Not water hockey, but water polo. We don't call it horse polo.
You don't play ice polo.
No. Well, we tried it once. The horses just, it was not good. They did not
water hockey.
Yeah. Ice polo is mooses on skates. It's hairy. Mooses on skates and big sticks, but still a regulation size puck for some reason. I don't know. There we go.
We're making cookies, apparently.
Awesome.
3:25 for 12 minutes. Thank you.
Sweet. We got cookies in 12 minutes. Cookies in 12 minutes. Nice.
I love those. Well, they're gluten-free for him, but I love those store-bought prepackaged things. You just take them out, throw them in.
It's the kind of the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, because they're fresh, but you don't have to do all the mixing and
exactly.
All that. Yeah.
Sounds like a band name, Mooses on Skates.
Mm.
There we are. Well, there we go. Thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. If you haven't already, please give a thumbs up. Again, if you're new and made it to the end especially, awesome. Welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe. Well, I already said the thumbs up. That's the same as a like. Doesn't matter. Extra motivational awareness or something. Hey, there's Dale Palmer. He's been lurking. He likes to just dip in at the end. I love it. I don't know what's coming up this week. Oh, yeah, doing the bridge work on that Jasmine. That's going to come up this week. Probably shoot some demos on some gear I got laying about. Sure, we'll do that. Thanks anybody that donated tonight. And as always, my mod squad, all you regulars. There's Christian Hunter. Yeah, until I'm live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, special time. Tomorrow night at 9 on NAS Canucks channel. Myself, cousin Doug. There you go.
The one supporter you forgot to thank, though, was the unnamed botanist. The one I just called the Wizard.
Oh, no, he's listed in, he's hidden in amongst the patrons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mellow Brian, good to see you.
For the unnamed botanist, because you're talented.
Yeah, so he's Bent Tom. I'm Ben. Cheers, rock on, hold those doors open, let that guy in ahead of you in traffic, do good things, and good things will happen to you because karma is real. I say karma is real. What did I say? Karma is real.